Let's get to Kai.
Yeah, man, we got to get to Kai. Well, salute to BET for even allowing for there to be streaming in the building. I think that's innovative.
That's risky, too.
Super risky.
I was waiting for somebody to fuck up.
But it was a live show, too.
I know, but it's a live stream. The stream, he was catching people behind the scene. Like, I was waiting for, I ain't going like a little nip slip.
SaVon. Janet Jackson wasn't enough.
Nah, I was too young.
He said I was too young.
Yeah, I was too young for that shit.
Janet just wasn't enough for you?
Nah, all my crushes was in the building. I saw Maya. Oh, God.
Maya did not.
I love Maya. I saw Maya.
Maya looking like Maya.
I saw Kerry Washington. I saw Tara. I saw all of my childhood crushes. Ashanti.
Ashanti was in the building.
I was like,
she performed.
Damn, he can't just...
Oh, my God.
My fault.
No, but it was kind of dope to kind of see Kai. And we saw a clip of, I guess, Kai hitting the parking lot. You know how it be, trying to get out of the spot real quick.
Nah, he was heading to
another spot,
to
right?
the show.
Headed to the show, actually, right? He caught Wale.
Mm-hmm.
Wale walking over with his, what was it, his Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
And, you know, Wale like, yo, Kai, what up? Kai, because he's a great guy, says, hey, what's up, man? Gets into the car. The stream is telling Kai Cenat that, yo, you know that was Wale. Do you know Wale called him Wally?
You mean Kai called him?
I'm so sorry. Do y'all know? See, that's how fucked up I am. Because I couldn't believe that Kai, because I'm thinking like, you know what? Maybe he saw Wale was trying to keep it short, trying to keep it cordial, real quick. Then when he got into the car and his chat had to alert him, is actually the reason why I'm not allowing for his age to be the reason for him not to know Wale. That's the hill I'm dying on today.
Nah, see, just because he's him, I got the cape on today for Kai.
Okay.
Just because Kai is him, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't mean he's now entrusted to know everybody.
That's true. That's true.
And when I think Kai was probably like 10 or 11 when Wale came out.
How old do you think the demo of his chat is here?
Various age ranges. That's how they knew him.
Because Pierre
he would know. Yeah,
is a part of like the streaming
Mafia.
world.
Same.
Yeah.
I be tapped into.
So I think it ranges from 12 maybe to Pierre's age.
Not even me, but
Probably
on the
older.
stream, everybody, Tank was saying he watches it. Everybody of every age watches it.
Well, I think some people come across as clips, and then there's people who watch. I don't think Tank is sitting at home.
That's a fair point.
Watching Kai any stream. You know what I'm saying?
They see
Like,
clips.
I think they're familiar with him. They understand what it is that he does. But I think that his actual demographic of people who's like, yo, I'm going to make sure I tune into Kai Cenat. No matter what I'm doing, if I got some downtime, I'm going to make sure I watch it. I think it ranges from maybe even younger than 12, maybe even 10.
I agree.
Yeah.
Maybe from 10 years old
I agree.
to 40, 45 even, because I know some OGs who's really just into that world.
And man, again, Kai's not dumb. He's smart. He knows people. It's just there aren't those people. Like he didn't realize the Brat was the Brat.
See, I don't expect for him to know the Brat
Babyface,
though.
like,
I don't expect for him to know the Brat. The Brat was the 90s.
And we've seen on Streamer University, all of the streamers that were there, he knew them by name without having to look
All
down
of
on
the
a piece
who?
of paper. The stream at Streamers University.
All of the who?
The streamers.
The demographic of the streamers. But even forget that, but just the ability to know people.
Yeah.
Based off of whatever,
So-
the amount of people he knows. But he's not supposed to know everybody. Some people fall through the cracks.
He's supposed to know
that.
Wale.
That's the hell I'm dying on. I think he should know Wale, right? We spoke about what we did as kids and how we kept up with artists that were older than us, right? When we got nostalgic visions of 106 in Park, VH1, all of that stuff. I remember being a kid and still knowing prominent artists, right? Let's do his age now, right? Because I don't want to come off as ignorant. I also don't think that Kai Cenat ever coined himself to be a music savant.
Nah.
I want to be clear.
Thank
You
for
see
saying
why I
that.
always say that every week, and you get mad at me when I be like,
never said Kai Cenat was a music
no,
savant.
I said when I say that about myself,
Oh.
and you be like, nah, don't say that, bro. And I be like, nah, I don't know shit about shit.
But you
and
do.
you get mad, but I say I don't.
But
Because
you do.
if I do this one day, I'm going to be like, nigga, I told you, I don't know shit.
When it comes to the new people, you're right, SaVon. You don't know shit. You don't know shit, nigga.
don't know shit.
You don't know
know
Destroy
shit.
Lonely. You don't know Until Japan. Like, it could get bad, right?
could get-
But you know what you know because you were there.
Yes.
Kai Cenat is 23 years old. 10 years ago, we can say was probably Wale's peak.
Yeah.
We're in 2025 right now, 2015, 2016. I'm pretty sure he knew who Meek Mill was.
Yeah. More prominent.
Right.
Yeah.
And granted, I know Kai's from the Bronx, so maybe the music that Meek Mill was making was probably, he probably
Close geographically.
exactly.
Yeah.
He probably shifted to that music a bit more. But
That's just no excuse. But I hear what you're saying.
There's no excuse, right? There's literally
Nah.
he's 23 years old. 10 years ago, he should have known who Wale was. I'm not even about to say
No, he shouldn't have.
Lotus Flower Bomb.
He shouldn't have known who he was.
No, at 10 years
You mean
ago.
now? 10 years ago, he shouldn't have known.
10 years
but
ago,
now,
he's 13.
Yeah.
As a 13-year-old, think about the artists you knew at 13.
Not necessarily. I got his top 15 rappers
Oh, let's hear it. Oh, I need to hear this.
from Kai.
A Boogie.
From 14 down. Let's go.
A Boogie's one I know.
A Boogie's number 1.
I know.
So it's A Boogie. I'll do 1 through 10.
Okay.
A Boogie, Drake, Lil Uzi, Gunna, Lil TJ, Yachty, Lil Baby, Playboi Carti, 21 Savage, and 10 Dirt.
That's his
Wale,
rapper.
yeah, that's his top 10 rappers. Wale, it's okay for Wale not to be there.
It's okay for him not to be there, but to not
okay.
know who Wale is is not okay.
Like, have no idea. is
No
my point.
clue
To have
who
no
Wale
clue
is.
when you were probably familiar with Rick Ross, Meek Mill, MMG, that conglomerate. Again, back to you being 13 years old. I remember being 13. I like music a lot, so maybe I'm a little bit different. But there were artists that I was familiar with.
Okay.
And then as I got older, I was like, oh, okay, I remember they had this one song. And now that I'm older, I can actually take the time to appreciate it. I'm not saying that he has to do that. And salute to the fact that he actually does bring artists and rappers on. The legacy acts, I love all of that. I'm not about to sit here and act like I'm some hater. But you should at least have some inkling of who Wale is. I ain't about to say anything.
I came across a tweet, and it's a pretty long tweet. But this person has a really strong stance on this whole Kai Cenat situation.
Oh, damn.
And they say Kai Cenat is not like us.
All right, see, that's
this?
much.
No, please read.
Yeah, let me hear this. That's a bit much for me.
See, Kai Cenat is not like us. Kendrick shouldn't have dapped him up either because he's been disrespectful to Black American culture, although he benefits from it in his cosplaying as a Black American. He don't know who Wale is because he's not a Black American truly. He's first generation. He was 11 when Wale was putting it down with MMG. But as a Black immigrant child, his immigrant parents more than likely did not even listen to rap music or even allow him to listen to it. See, we grow up in it as Black Americans. Black children of immigrants learn Black American rap culture by way of TV and social media, radio, when they turn about 14 and start creating their own identity as a Black American. You have to remember, Biggie's mom knew nothing about Black American rap culture that he fell in love with. But Biggie was studied on the culture. Kai Cenat is 23. He probably only really been listening to rap for 8 years, and his parents probably hate rap. Now, again,
Dragged it, yeah.
I said this is a really strong stance,
Yeah, that's fine.
but it actually echoes somewhat of what I was saying a bit.
Earlier, I know what you meant.
You get what I'm saying? A little bit earlier.
I can speak from it, right?
Yeah.
Again, I was born in Haiti. Came to the U.S. around 1 year old.
Oh, damn, you fresh.
Oh, shit, where ice?
Hey, your paper good,
I'm a
right?
citizen, motherfucker.
Hey, your paper good, right? You know they,
Fuck both of you.
you know they picking niggas up right now.
With everything,
I don't want the door.
with
I don't
everything
want,
in my heart. No, I'm joking.
I don't want the door to just bust open in a second.
I'm good. I
done seen some shit out
I
there.
got what I need.
gotta
I'm
clear that
certified.
You good?
I'm certified.
Nah,
I'm good.
fuck with
Sure.
you.
All right. Cause I won't snitch.
Growing up,
my fault.
my parents didn't really. We didn't have rap in the house or nothing like that. But at the end of the day, like that really doesn't matter. It's really dependent on.
Exactly.
At some point, rap becomes appealing to anyone of any age, of any demographic, no matter where you're from or where your parents from.
Right.
Right. But I still think, again, we do this weird thing where we thrust responsibility on the people who are the newer stars or the people who have somehow jettisoned to mainstream media. That doesn't necessarily have to be the case. Like,
Well, let me grant him a little grace. Maybe he doesn't know what Wale looks like. Because, again, back to my point of you being a 13-year-old 10 years ago, you would have heard any one of those songs that Wale got so big off of. It's impossible. I'm telling you. Maybe you didn't know that's who Meek Mill was around all the time or Rick Ross was around, but you had to have known certain. I'll say this. If Kai Cenat was 16 right now, and 10 years ago he was 6, I had no conversation.
what was Wale's last hit?
Like hit?
His last hit.
Shit.
Exactly.
I don't know LaToya Luckett's last hit, but I know LaToya Luckett.
I'm asking that for a reason.
But that proves my point. His last hit was when he was coming up.
2018.
Which one?
On Chill. When we went to DC,
Okay.
On Chill I just came out
On Chill
with Jeremiah. That was a hit.
Yeah, that was a hit.
On Chill was a hit. And that was maybe, 2018, 2019?
And I know Casa and I know who Jeremiah is.
But peep though, right? If you're
PYT.
if you're not front facing like that and so often, Kai didn't start buzzing on YouTube. He didn't start streaming until 2020.
Well,
so like, if you're not always constantly in my face as an artist,
he from the Bronx, yo.
So what?
Nah, nigga, it's not so what from the Bronx.
Okay.
And he speaks about the side of the Bronx that he come from.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It get a little gritty. There's no way you didn't hear any sort of Wale over there. And I'm not saying that Wale's music is gritty. I'm sorry, SaVon.
No, let me go.
No, I'm good. Yeah.
Let me go to Pierre's point, because I think you made a really good case and a good argument. And again, we are all brothers in this room. I know we're going to have a layered conversation.
Yeah.
I want anybody to listen. Like, we're not divisive.
No,
These are my brothers. It doesn't matter what
facts.
fucking cultures we come from. Like, this is just what it is. But specifically to this conversation, Pierre, I'm going to talk to you because there is a cardinal sin that you commit every time you say something that everybody looks at you crazy at.
Talk to me.
And
let's do it.
The reason that everybody has such a visceral reaction to it is because growing up, it is almost universally accepted.
I know where you're going with
that
this.
Michael Jackson
get him.
is the one.
Okay.
Right? Not saying you necessarily have to be the biggest MJ fan or whatever, but there's a certain reverence and respect and just, appreciation for who Michael Jackson is from the time he was a kid with the Jackson 5s to the time that he passed away.
So,
right? The reason I bring that example up,
let me know when it's my turn,
is because that is a small nuance of that ideology of being a Black American.
Okay.
Right? That is our guy. And our, you know what I'm saying? Michael Jackson is the guy.
Okay.
Now, it doesn't mean you have to like Michael Jackson, but you don't necessarily, in the conversations we've had, you don't understand why. You said that.
Again.
You've literally said, I don't understand.
What the fuck kind of laugh was that?
Why
I got something for him.
this Michael Jackson guy, he's not this, because you don't even get it, and it's a cultural disconnect, in my opinion, throughout this conversation.
So let me tell you something, right? If you want to listen to me, Michael Jackson was also heard in Haiti too.
Of course.
World renowned.
Absolutely.
Of course.
My parents played Michael Jackson in the house.
Of course.
Yeah. So you were familiar with it.
And I could respect it. At the same time, listen, I don't give a fuck.
Oh, see.
He just was never appealing to me. And I think for someone who listens to music every now and then, or however, to whatever capacity, everything, I've said it here before, isn't for everyone. I respect Michael. I could respect everything that he's put out, everything that he's ever penned. Yeah.
Because we've turned Michael Jackson on before, and you like, yo, turn that shit off.
Listen,
I remember playing Dirty Diana.
it's good. It's just I wouldn't necessarily go to it on the ride. Like, it's okay. One of my favorite. Well, I've said it here. I like Tory.
But see,
the album that Tory dropped that sounded like the '80s Michael Jackson. I hated that album. So it's not just specifically Tory. The sound. I get it, but I don't get it. Is what I'm saying.
See, it kind of just proves to my point, though, right?
Alone at the Prom was the
reference to
Tory
that.
album. Yeah.
That you kind of proved my point just a little bit. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But it's really how I feel, right? You were still familiar with what it was, right? So maybe I want to grant Kai some grace right now. Maybe he didn't know what he was familiar with because he couldn't put a face to Wale's name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And when you look at the
There's
clip,
no way.
When you look at the clip,
there's no way.
There's so much going on.
Yes.
He's going to the car to go whatever. I could see how that could be easily missed. Like, oh shoot, I didn't even see or notice that was Wale.
There was a clip attached to that long tweet that I just read. So I'm gonna play this clip just for context to see what the picture that this guy is trying to paint. The person who tweeted it is Music and Builds. That's his name. I don't know who he is. I swear, I paid the bill.
You're American. You're African American, bro. That's it. How was that? See you in 30. A lot.
Hold up.
Yeah, that phone, you got to start paying on time. That's the thing about them phones.
Nah, I think my server's still in DR. Hold up.
Yeah,
You're
get another SIM
American.
card.
You're African American, bro. That's it.
That's
How was
it.
that? See you in 30. That wasn't an insult. That was strictly you're black. You're not Trinidadian. You're not Jamaican. You're not African.
Yo, Kai,
you're
chill.
not. You're not.
Chill.
Word. You're not Ghanaian.
Goddamn.
You're not Dominican. You're not Puerto Rican. You're not Cuban.
What about the? Now I know that was kind of out of context, but do you know what that was from? Or that was just a random clip?
I'm
He was responding to
strictly just playing a clip that was attached to the tweet that I read.
Yeah, I need to
Got
know.
you,
Right.
got you.
That's it. So I have no idea what the context is, but it just goes to that point of, again, us just identifying with different cultures and being some type of disconnect there. I do think it's unacceptable for him to not know who Wale is at the end of the day. And one thing I hate about the whole Wale conversation that we've been having is people keep attaching him because he was a part of MMG, like he should know him. And Alex, you did it, and not saying like this is towards you, but just the general conversation is, oh, he was in MMG. So no, Wale stands on his own.
No,
right?
he does,
The Meek
but we
cosign.
cannot. we have to talk about the incorporation of MMG in both Meek and Wale's career.
I don't feel we do that as much with Meek as we do with Wale.
I don't think we say it as much, but I think it applies for the both of them. I don't even think their careers are the same way.
Meek
without,
is-
No, absolutely.
Okay, that's
but
why
it's,
we
it's
do
just
it.
like it's always at the forefront whenever we talk about Wale.
Got you.
And for somebody who's a Wale fan, it's like that's at the back of my mind when I hear Wale.
Like, we remember the Lady Gaga joint and mixtape about nothing. Like I come from that Wale school, right?
And everything after MMG is what I connect to too. Like MMG, it was a moment. It gave him some momentum when he needed it. You know, like that was a real time period.
His best works came out underneath MMG.
Yes.
You see, and that's probably why.
Let me see.
All of them. Ambition. What was the one after Ambition?
Because we agree, Meek is definitely the better artist.
No, I don't agree.
I don't.
No?
It
I don't
depends on
agree.
what you're
No,
talking
I don't
about.
agree.
Yeah, I think
Longevity.
Wale is more of a
I don't agree.
songwriter and poet.
I do not agree at all.
I can't.
That's the same thing Meek
He
is.
said we all
No,
agree. Hey,
no,
hold
no.
up, nigga. No, we don't.
We speak French now. Huh?
Word.
We?
Nah,
Absolutely not.
I think Meek had more commercial. No, I can't even say more commercial success. Wale has some hits, but the hood ingratiated Meek. I think that's what's different.
I think it's just different
That's what's
styles.
different. Yeah,
you know,
facts.
styles make fights.
Wale's a
but
poet.
Wale is, I think, you said artist. I think he's a better artist. I think he's a better rapper.
Then Meek?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, he sounds shocked.
Wow.
Really?
Absolutely.
Why do you feel this way? You don't know about Wale Penn, huh?
You're not
So-
familiar.
If
Yeah,
if
a little
anything,
bit.
I think
Not like entirely, but
I think Wale's
Substance.
pen is just a bit more broad, right? Meek speaks from struggle, trauma,
passion.
experience, right? Wale speaks from that as well, and everything else. The love, his depression, what he
Sue
goes
me, I'm
through.
rooting for everything that's black.
Yeah, you know
Okay.
what I mean? Yeah,
Yeah.
he's just his pen goes other places.
Wale's gonna be appreciated when he's no longer here. Unfortunate, and I
that's
don't
the
want to say
fucked
that.
up
Like I
That's
don't
the
put
fucked up
that.
part.
I don't wish that on him. But that's just he's just one of those artists. He has one of those personalities that rub people the wrong way. And so he's not necessarily embraced. He also came in a time period when he's fighting the big three. He's with the Meek Mills, the Big Sean's. Like he came at. And I can't say at a bad time because his career is fucking amazing. There's rappers who would die to have a career like a Wale. But I just think
Bunch of
his
hits.
talent,
Bunch of hits.
right? The hits, his skill set warrants him to be in a bigger light. In my opinion, it's almost like when we talk about the West Coast and the Game. In my opinion, Game should be at the top of every conversation when it comes to West Coast rappers.
Yeah.
We shouldn't get past 6 or 7 and not mention the Game. But we've seen the list over the last few weeks, and Game has been outside of the top 10.
Yeah.
Right? And that's just in LA. And now in the grand scheme of hip hop and rap, I think Game should be at least top 25.
And again, as a Wale fan, because we're talking about Wale, but a parallel to what you're saying, I've been the fan to tell my dog to shut the fuck up. I'm like, Wale, please, bro, please stop talking, bro. And he did. Like he did. Hold on. I was like, Wale, please stop talking. You're so talented.
That's why Kai didn't recognize him.
Stop. Watch your mouth. It's a verse coming for you. I used to be like, Wale, you're so talented. People are getting distracted by your antics and how you like to reply to things. And Now I get it. Now I get it. Now I see why he is so jaded. Cenat probably knows the bulk of his peers. And he know him. That would jade me a little bit. I'm not even about to lie. And again, no, Cenat shouldn't be forced to know who Wale is. I'm just speaking from the perspective of the Wale.
Was it
right? Like people will tell you how gifted you are, how many hits you created, how they meant so much to you at a point in their life, and then the new generation, who are the stars of the new generation, can identify with you. That would jade the fuck out of me, bro.
Damn, Cenat knew me before he knew Wale. Ain't that some shit? Hold up, nigga.
Congrats.
You're on the board. You're on the board.
Ain't that some shit?
Ain't
Wow.
that some shit?
You think
Mama made it.
You think Wale was whack for approaching him at the awards when he was sitting next to Snoop? And
I was back telling Wale to hush. It's like, Wale, what are you doing?
He probably didn't know the mic was there too.
And to what SaVon was saying earlier, he actually took the time to get away from the industry, get away from social media. This is him coming back, trying to put out some new music. He just put out a new single called Blanco. He's trying to come back, be more confident with himself while not trying to be the old version of himself. And a week into him being outside, what you niggas is doing?
A week.
A week. God dang, bro. He just did an interview with Joe. Like, he finally starting to come back outside. And now I get it. I can
He was on
understand as
Revolt
an
a month
artist.
ago.
Yeah.
But, I mean, for what he's doing now, this is good press. Every press,
Oh, yeah.
you know, people will flock to.
I know who he is now.
Yes and yes, yes and no. Because I don't think it's good necessarily for his mental.
Yeah, yo.
And he's somebody who's been very big on mental health and his struggles with anxiety. Like, for him to even be at the BET Awards, or even in the proximity of the BET Awards, I was surprised. I was shocked. Because we just know how or what he presents. We know what he presents. And he presents to be an introvert, somebody who kind of stays to himself, doesn't really do the industry like that. And for that to happen, like you said, he's been away for so long. Like, I remember, like, yo, where's Wale at? On my timeline, on Twitter. Like, yo, I haven't seen, because he was an active tweeter.
Active.
He was extremely active in sports, even in sports. Like, I just didn't see him for a while. So, yeah, it's unfortunate that this shit happened to him.
You know what? It is so ironic that both him and Kevin Durant are from the same city. They do not play about their name.
No.
Them DC folk gonna clap back at you.
Yeah.
Ain't that something?
Yeah, no, it's something in the water out there.
I get the same vibes from the two of them.
Yeah.
Where like, nah, if I feel slighted, I'm gonna say something.
There's a lot of
Especially
great-
on social media.
Who else is from DC? Dave Chappelle from DC?
No, Ohio.
Ohio?
Yeah,
He's from Ohio?
Cleveland.
Yeah,
I think he lives out there.
no, he's from Ohio.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
like from there.
I didn't know that.
Sonoma.
Martin. Is it Martin Lawrence? One of these guys
Yeah.
is from DC. DC got a lot of talent.
Wait.
Shot
Chappelle is from DC.
He is?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
SaVon's right.
Place of birth. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh shit. And he lives in Ohio.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it's good to see Wale out. I can't wait to hear some new music. It just reminded me of how fragile just people can be. And he seems to be, one of
In
those.
a better place right now.
He does.
He did.
And it
He seemed
just
that
sucks
way.
that this happened. I don't going back to your question. I don't think it was bad for him to approach Kai. I think it made, because I'm trying to think if I was in that situation, right?
Oh, we know what you're doing.
What would I do? Because I don't even know what I would
Nah.
do. So you tell me what I would do.
It depends on what day it is.
Around a lot of people, he might not.
That's what I'm saying. I said it depends on
day.
what day it is.
Because I don't think Kai did that in a disrespectful way.
did.
So
Not
when
at
I
all.
watched the
No, he
tape
didn't.
back, I probably wouldn't have been said anything. Had I felt he purposely slighted me,
Yeah.
now we gotta talk.
But I ain't gonna lie, man. Wale, you my dog, but Casa not sitting down talking to Snoop.
Fact, pressed him crazy.
Like,
Yo,
he
what?
talking to Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, nah, it's my time.
You go over here in his ear like, hey, yo, Playboy, they got me looking crazy over what you just said. Like, yo, chill, leave this little boy alone.
He might have gotten mad at the Wale part.
I don't blame him.
Because as an artist,
Wale is crazy.
as an artist that's kind of that's
Yo.
decorated, self-proclaimed decorated as Wale is.
Yeah.
I could see how Wale was like, yo, everybody's supposed to know me. And if somebody doesn't, to Kai's stature, I could see how that could probably rub him the wrong way.
This actually makes sense.
What part?
It actually makes sense.
What part?
Did he do it?
What?
Did he have him flipped up?
Did he do it?
Did he?
Because if this the energy Wale is on, this Diddy might have.
Over the balcony?
I don't know, bro.
Hanging him over the balcony
Or
vibes?
maybe he had Diddy over the balcony.
No, he did. Nobody had Diddy over the balcony.
I mean,
except the Punisher.
And Glizzy said he saw the shoes. He saw the same shoe. Wow. I just caught what you're saying.
Okay? That's the only person that had niggas over the balcony.
You on the board, man. Wow.
Nah, man, pray for our dog Wale. I'm excited for new music. I hope this doesn't take from the steam of motivation that he has to put out new music.
He got to ride it now.
It's Pride Month.
He got a what?
He got to ride it now. He got to ride the wave. Like,
Pride Month.
his name's in the media now. You got to ride it.
No, it's Pride Month. It's Pride Month.
Don't ever tell me another man got
It's Pride Month. We can let it ride.
Oh, gotta let it ride.
Yeah, it's Pride Month. We can
Gotta let it ride after that, and this month.